Welcome to the American Classroom Podcast, where we explore the role of education in building a civil society. And I'm here with a wonderful group of scholars from Heritage Academy and their downtown Mesa campus. They call them the Scholar Council, and we're going to explore in this episode student government, which is a unique feature in American education. And we're going to interview this wonderful group about their experience in student government. So welcome. We're glad that you're here today. So here's what we're going to do to kick things off. I'm going to ask, starting with the 8th grade representatives, to give us their name and what position you are in the Scholar Council, and tell us your favorite experience this year in Scholar Council. Okay, so Maisie, maybe we'll start with you.
My name is Maisie Smith. I'm the 8th grade representative, and my favorite experience in the Scholar Council this year has been serving drinks at all the dances.
That's fun. That's great. All right, Olivia.
Hi, I'm Olivia Hall. I'm the other 8th grade representative, and my favorite experience in Scholar Council is probably just spending time with the people in Scholar Council because I feel like they're a great group. And together we're just perfect.
That's great. Perfect. That's a good way. All right, 9th grade.
My name is Natalie Stapley, and I'm the freshman representative. One of my favorite things about Scholar Council this year has really been able to step up and help out at my school.
Thank you. That's fun. 10th grade.
I'm Colson Palmer. I'm the 10th grade rep, sophomore representative. One of my favorite things this year has probably been the videos. It's really fun to have the script to act out your part and still have your personality be part of it and to really enjoy it. Even though I wasn't the greatest at first, I got a lot better and it's been so much fun.
That's fun. That's a fun role. Well done. All right, 11th.
I'm Xander. I think one of my favorite experiences this Scholar Council this year has been Dollars for Duds. Even though we have to wake up earlier than we usually do, it sucks, but it's worth it in the end because I like to compliment the kids on their style and their jewelry, and it just makes my day a lot better when I see a smile on their face.
All right, and Xander, you might just explain a little bit for those that don't know what Dollars for Duds is.
Oh, Dollars for Duds. So you get to pay $4 to be out of your uniform, but there are standards that we have to uphold. But it's once a month that we get to pay $4 to wear what we want.
And why is Scholar Council involved in Dollars for Duds? This is an interesting feature that this school does because it's a way to do what do you guys do with the proceeds?
We use them for the dances and for the after school activities. One of them being the spring fair. That one's probably the most lucrative one, and it just helps a lot when we have Dollars for Duds.
Yeah, that's great. And Scholar, these kinds of activities, especially the ones that help provide the resources for other activities, are really, really great to layer those in. That's a great pro tip for if school leader that might be listening to this is looking to build a student government in their campus. These types of activities are really great, especially if you have a uniform school. Not all schools have good-looking uniforms like these scholars do here, but if you do, a Dollars for Duds Day is a great idea. So thanks for highlighting that, Xander. All right, who wants to go next?
I'm Elizabeth Allred. I'm the senior class president, and my favorite experience in Stuco has been planning prom. We got to explore the venue together and pick out colors, and just I got to see a dream come true, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Okay, raise your hand if you want to go next. Don't be shy. We know you're not shy if you're in student government.
Okay. Hi, my name's Alexander Pena. I was the elected cabinet member, which basically means that I actually lost my election when I ran. So I ran for student body president, but thankfully he's student body president. And I was able to be pulled in and be a part of, the council still. And my favorite time in student council is planning homecoming. Because I did that with Dane. Me and him were the chairs over the dance. And being able to put in all that effort and see the kids' face light up when they got to our school, because it's held in the school courtyard, not a venue, and being able to transform that and seeing how much everybody enjoyed themselves made all the work and all the stress extremely worth it in the end, because it always is, giving back to the community.
Yeah, good. Thank you. And I'm glad you highlighted that there is a role for people in student government that may not be elected. You could have appointed positions like this position that still has a lot of value, both for the individual and for the school. So thanks for calling that out.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Okay.
My name is Logan Vomisil. I'm the secretary treasurer for the Scholar Council, and my favorite thing throughout this year has been seeing our efforts come to fruition in our events, like events that are really like the spring fling, prom, and homecoming. We spend weeks, even months, planning all the specific details of the event, and even though some of them don't work out, but seeing all of our ideas just work and people having fun with them is an amazing feeling. Just great.
Thank you. Okay, raise your hand if you're next. Okay, please. Thank you.
I'm Layla. I'm the public relations officer, and my favorite experience in Skolco has been being able to film and create scripts for the announcement videos. I love being able to express myself freely and having ideas that will have the students engage in the videos and look forward to watching them.
Good for you. And there's another pro tip for school leaders that are looking to build some esprit de corps in their schools is a public relations position on your student council, scholar council, whatever you choose to call it. And the reason why is I bet you what you say in your announcements is listened to a lot more than what maybe some administrator says over an announcement, for better or for worse. But that's not a common position in student government. So I'm glad that your scholar council has that. So well done. All right, who do we have next?
My name is Dane Jack. I'm the student body vice president. And I think my favorite experience overall, similar to Alex, has been homecoming. We decided to go for a Western theme for our dance. And I remember so vividly Alex and I working together to go pick up tons of hay bales. I think it was over 30 or 40 hay bales. And it was just him and I putting them all in a trailer, going to the school and unloading them. And it was so much work, but it was so much fun and so rewarding afterward, seeing our ideas pan out to be this wonderful event. It was super cool.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, did we miss anybody? All right, let's hear from the president.
Hello, my name is Damian Pereira Munoz, and I am the student body president. One of the greatest experiences, not only just this year, but any year, is getting to know everyone from the council. Obviously, everyone has something they can give to receive and help give to the community. And being able to understand and get to know every single one of my teammates in this council has been such an eye-opening experience. They've helped me become the person I am today, and I hope that they've been able to grow and obviously persevere from their own personal struggles and their personal endeavors to become even better people.
That's great. Appreciate that. Well, this scholar council here goes through a very unique process to take their positions, which is unique. Now, they are with a school called Heritage Academy, as I mentioned. It's in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And there's a deep commitment in this school to the classical education and also the ideals and values of America and the great men and women that founded our country. And with that, they have adopted the electoral college process as the way that they're elected. So I'm going to ask a question to Xander here to maybe describe a little bit about that process, the electoral college process, and how you were elected, and maybe what you think about that, as it's a little bit different than maybe just the posters that wallpaper a school and a big speech and music or something like that. It's very, very different. Xander, could you describe the process you guys go through?
So basically, we have packets that we give out to the students if they want one, and they get to fill out a form, they get to write a speech, and they have to write an essay. That usually turns some of the kids off, but usually they can get it done. And also, we do not tell kids to campaign for themselves, because that's what the electoral college is for. So we have citizenship, and they choose 2 people out of their citizenships and send them to the auditorium during lunch on 2 of the days of the week. And the electors, the people who are running, they stand up and give their speech, and then the electorals, they put their votes in, and that's how we determine our representatives.
No, that's great. And it makes a lot of sense because if you're trying to raise citizens in a country that uses the electoral college, which, America does, then why not teach them that? Why not use it in your own government, within your school? So, anyways, it's kind of a fun, unique feature here, and school administrators love it because it really removes a lot of noise that some of the other processes have. So there may be something there for someone to learn. So, well, good. Okay, so I want to hear a little bit more about how your own personal growth has developed over your time in Scholar Council. So maybe we'll start again with our 8th grade reps. And if you think about what you knew or thought about your own leadership, what you knew about student government, Scholar Council, before you were seated, and now that you've been a year into it, how do you think you have grown personally in your own leadership skills? Maisie, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think that's a great question because before I wasn't very independent. I kind of relied on others, and I think I've become more responsible, and I've grown a lot, and I've become able to take criticism, constructive criticism, and turn it into feedback instead of being really hard on myself to make improvements.
Well, that's huge. That's a great answer. Thank you.
I can go, yeah. Before I joined the SCAR Council, I wasn't very confident in myself, and I wasn't an amazing leader. But after I joined the SCAR Council, I felt like my leadership skills definitely were a lot better than they were before I joined. And that also was really helped by, we do the thing called leadership training like once a week, that one student from SCAR Council would teach us how to be a better leader, and then we would put that in our life and be a better leader.
Thank you. Great answer. Who'd like to go next?
Although I can't really pin it on one specific trait or skill I've learned throughout Scholar Council, I definitely feel like just the opportunity to be pushed into the spotlight and to be serving as one of the school's leaders, it's really helped me become more extroverted in a way. I'm normally the type of guy that likes to sit in the back and let other people do the work, but now I feel more of an urge to help, and I feel responsible, and I seek out opportunities to help me find ways that I can help others now.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We're excited to hear from a couple more of you about how your personal leadership has developed over this last year in Scholar Council.
Yeah, so this past year in Scholar Council, going into it, I wasn't sure quite what I was getting into. I was like, yeah, I'm a good leader. I think I'll be like really good for this position. And then as I went along, I was able to increase my confidence. I was able to speak in front of a lot of people without stuttering so much, as I do a lot. And so it's gotten a lot better in that way, and I've been able to feel a lot more confident in myself, and just with the people around me supporting me, it's been a great experience.
Let's get one more. Yeah, thank you.
Something about me that we like to make a joke a lot about in council, I have a very inflated confidence. So I've always had a very confident kind of thing, but being in Scholar Council and kind of being around a bunch of people who are very intelligent and very smart to be around, just learning that, sometimes I can bring the confidence down and really hear everybody else's ideas. It's been the most eye-opening kind of experience, and just really being able to hear others without always having to be the one to take the spotlight. And that's something that's helped me not just in student council, but in everyday aspects of my life. So yeah.
Great. Well, congratulations to each of you. And I know all of you have similar stories like that of developing your leadership skills, and the point that was just made about how sometimes a little humility is actually the development of leadership skills, right? Not always being the one that has to be out front. So that's great because listening is so key to leadership. So I'm glad you highlighted that. So that's certainly one of the goals that we have with the Scholar Council is to help your own personal leadership. And of course, the influence that you have with other people in example and setting up all the fun activities, the esprit de corps that you build. So, as we wrap up this little podcast here on Scholar Council, I'm going to ask the president to just reflect back a little bit on what you've learned, and maybe for future Scholar Councils here at Mesa or other student governments in the United States that are listening to this, what advice would you give to them in terms of effective student governments and Scholar Councils on their high school campus, wherever it may be?
The only tip and advice that I could really give is listen to the people. Listen to what everyone has to say, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all equal. We're all on the same playing field. And together, we can make so much good in the world. And in order to make these events that we do, whether it's prom, whether it's Sadie's, whether it's HOCO, it really boils down to what everyone wants. It really boils down to what does making a good event start with. Making everyone happy. It's when everyone is heard, when everyone feels as if they've contributed, as if they feel as if they are being heard, is what really matters. So just listen to what everyone has to say.
Wow, that's great. Love that advice. That's real leadership there. And thank you for serving as president this year for the Scholar Council. And you can tell that these young people have had great leadership, not just with their Scholar Council representative, Mrs. Wilson. She's outstanding, and we're so lucky to have her lead this group. Don't you think? Don't you think she's awesome? Great. She's the best. And she, of course, is supported by great administration, Mrs. Heidi Udall, who has been on this podcast before, talking about great teaching, first-year teachers. So if you are looking for a school program that will really develop character, really develop leadership, you really need to think about student government. You really need to think about scholar government, how it's supporting your purpose, your mission for your school, and hopefully some things that you picked up here from the scholars will help you in developing your particular program. Now, before we leave, does anybody have any final words or any other advice that they would like to share? Raise your hand if you'd like to answer the question about what advice you would give other people if they are thinking about running for Scholar Council. Go ahead.
Well, I think Scholar Council is, personally, it's been one of my favorite classes throughout all of high school, through being able to learn leadership skills and helping other scholars at our school, but also just amazing memories that I've made with all of my amazing friends. Everyone on this council is so amazing, and I've loved getting to know them. But one small piece of advice that I would give to anyone looking forward or thinking about joining Scholar Council is just go for it. Even if you don't seem confident right now in the moment, once you join into the council, you will be able to grow your skills and expand your knowledge about so many different things that you would not have the opportunity to grow otherwise. So I say, just go for it and make amazing memories along the way.
Awesome. I love it. It's a team, isn't it? Student government's a team sport. You're going to be part of a great team. Okay.
Personally, I have to agree with Dane. Just go for it. I remember last year when I first ran for first student council that I was terrified. And the best part about student council is that it's not a popularity contest. As someone who was never really popular my entire life, I felt as if, I'm just not going to get elected or I'm just not going to win, but I still went for it. And it really is the impression that you give to everyone else that you can make a change. And look at me now. I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to serve everyone at in Heritage Academy. And I say to anyone in the future, just go for it.
I would say don't even hesitate. It is one of the most different and wonderful experiences you'll ever have in all of school. I think it's like no other class. It's an interactive class, and you learn so much in so many basic life skills that I think I would not be the same person without having taken it this year.
I feel like when you if you want to join Scholar Council, it might seem hard to do it at first because you have to write an essay and you have to write a speech. But I think after you get past that and you get into Scholar Council, it's an amazing opportunity, and I think it's just worth it. And you, like everyone has been saying, just go for it.
So, right before I ran for Scholar Council in 7th grade, I considered running, but I didn't, and I really regretted it. Because now, even though originally I might not been the most amazing leader ever, I put in what I had. And going through Scholar Council today, I've grown so much. And if you think that you don't have it all, if you don't think you can be a good leader, go for it anyway, like everybody's been saying, because in Scholar Council, you can take your abilities and make them something amazing.
Well, that was great. Thank you for being here. Thank you on behalf of American Classroom Podcast, sharing some of these fun stories, some of your great experiences in Scholar Council. I know people that listen to this are really going to benefit from it. And credit to each of you in your leadership and what you've learned. And thank you for enlightening our wonderful listeners. So to our listeners that are school leaders, school principals, parents, and other students and scholars that are listening to this, if you'd like to really develop leadership skills, if you'd like to develop the esprit de corps on your campus, definitely take some tips and tricks from here that you've heard today. Put it in your school. You won't regret it, I promise. So thanks for being with us today, and have a good rest of your day. If you like this episode, please like and share with someone who would find this interesting. We appreciate you listening to the American Classroom Podcast today.
Thank you.
American Classroom is brought to you by Heritage Academy Mesa. Heritage Academy in Mesa, Arizona is a public charter school serving grades 7 through 12. Youth that come to Heritage are not just students, but scholars who are taught by the #1 rated faculty in Arizona. If you'd like to learn more about Heritage Academy Mesa, please visit heritageacademyaz.com and click Mesa.